On Saturday, it was exactly the same. When I was busy, not thinking about it, it wasn't there. And as soon as I started to think about it, it returned. And then yesterday, it was a similar story, but a lot less. And then today, nothing. And I've obviously started taking the medication again. Because I've been thinking about it this morning and now I'm talking about it, yes, does my chest feel like a fraction tighter than usual? Yes. But I'm telling myself now, I'm actively saying, you're imagining it. So just get on with your day. Don't worry about it. And when I do that, there's nothing. Good morning. Happy Monday. I hope you all had a lovely weekend. I'll talk about my weekend in a bit, but you've just seen the dog. She says good morning to you, and now I'm going to take you through something a little bit different. Take you through my breakfast routine, or at least what I tend to have most days of the week. Let me know what you think about it, but here it is. Right, so first thing I do post walk is sort the doggy's dinner out, breakfast, even though it's just the same for breakfast and dinner. Add a little bit of fibre, add a little bit of hot water. Give it a mix. She comes. Hey, you want your breakfast? Come on then. Come on. Wake up, puppy. Good girl. And then the next thing I do is, well, actually the first thing I do is I do a shot of that. I'm going to have a shake. Well, I say a shake. It is a shake. Do about 200 mils of almond milk. Yogurt. Do about 100 grams of yogurt. Right, bit of ice. This is the longest breakfast make in the world, but sets me up nicely for the day. Frozen blueberries. If you don't know, get to know. 100 grams of that, and then some oats and some protein powder. So one mustn't grumble. There we go, just 20 grams of oats, a scoop of protein. Just put a bit of water in, slam it into the blender. This is what I try to have most mornings, and then I do just have water with some electrolytes in it. I use those, pretty standard. Right, had my breakfast. So let's talk about the weekend. So today is Monday, 11th of May. The weekend on the whole was good. Towards the back end of last week, I did a bit of filming on Friday, which I'll be releasing today. But yeah, one of the things that had been bothering me, which I hadn't shared on the channel, was that I was getting a bit of a tight chest. I'm someone who's very aware of my body. But any tiny changes, I immediately kind of sense them. And so throughout the week, I was from about, I think it was Wednesday when the tight chest started. I couldn't figure out whether it was the medication or whether it was just I felt a little bit of tightness, and then I'm just constantly scanning for it, and then it becomes a thing. And then if you're a little bit anxious or a little bit stressed about that, I was then just kind of focusing on it and kind of searching for it all the time. And it was kind of by Friday, it was bothering me enough to start to think about, okay, maybe I should flag it with the titration team. But I was due to not take medication on Saturday because I went out on Saturday evening to a fundraising event, which was a lot of fun. And I knew I'd have a few drinks, so I decided I wouldn't take the medication. And I was like, this will maybe give me a good indication of whether it's the medication or whether it's just me. And what I found is inconclusive. And I'll tell you why. So I'm jumping around a bit with the days, but on Friday, as you'll now know, I went out to see a friend, and during that time, no chest tightness because I was focused on other things, and it was totally gone. And that was kind of like the story throughout the day. When I was focused on other things, didn't feel it at all. And when I say chest tightness, I'm talking like a 2 out of 10. Still able to do what I normally do, not out of breath, blood pressure's fine. But I thought, you know what? Let's see what the situation is on the weekend. On Saturday, it was exactly the same. When I was busy, not thinking about it, it wasn't there. And as soon as I started to think about it, it returned. And then yesterday, it was a similar story, but a lot less. And then today, nothing. And I've obviously started taking the medication again. Because I've been thinking about it this morning and now I'm talking about it, yes. Does my chest feel like a fraction tighter than usual? Yes. But I'm telling myself now, I'm actively saying, you're imagining it. So just get on with your day. Don't worry about it. And when I do that, there's nothing. So I believe currently that there is a very small chance that it could be the increase in the medication, but the more logical or sensible answer is that I'm just thinking about it, therefore I'm scanning for it, therefore it's becoming a thing. And as I say, it's got less. A 2 out of 10 on chest tightness scale is, in my view, nothing. And so, sorry, I knew I was talking about the weekend, but I kind of gave you like a lead up to the weekend. So, yes, Saturday was normal routine, went to football, came home, pottered about the house, then went out relatively early, around 5:30 on Saturday. Got back just after midnight. Yesterday went just for a family walk with the dog. Then I just pottered around again. I'm definitely feeling mentally drained, tired. My son had a birthday party to go to, so that was good because it gave me a few hours to just be and just do whatever. And saying that, I'm never very good at just being or just doing whatever. There's always something that I'm researching or looking into or thinking about. Slept well last night, and then we've arrived on Monday. This might only be day 5 of 40 milligrams of Elvance. It's approaching midday. Yeah, it's about 20 past 11 now. And the plan is very much just cracking on, doing some work for Stephen Does Marketing, continuing to think about this channel, trying to fill my time with things that I'm motivated by. And the plan for later will be to do a workout. Yeah, I'd like to start the week strong, so I'll do a resistance training session. I will endeavour to also go for a run. My runs at the moment they only last about 13, 14 minutes. I do about 2.5k, sometimes a little bit less. So I'll see how my mood takes me later. It's always tricky when you're doing a resistance training session and then doing a run as well. I think, if you've got yourself in a situation where your heart rate's raised anyway, just get them both done, and then that should lead into a calmer evening. So that's really the update from the back end of last week and the weekend. Again, I didn't pick up the camera. I'm finding it quite helpful to not force picking up the camera on a weekend. Not that I force it during the week, but on the weekend I just really want to be as present as I can for my family, and so that's what I try to prioritise. I'll maybe check in with you later if anything new or inspiring develops. But whatever you're up to on this Monday, I hope that you are enjoying yourself, and I will look forward to chatting to you very soon.